Okay. Welcome back. If you're new, my name is Kirkland. Been trading for like 2 years. I've been doing this for like a little bit. I've been looking at a chart every single day for like 2 years. I've just been trading. I've lost a lot of money over time. I made a little bit of money, but I've lost even more. So I'm not really like a guaranteed profitable trader. But I mean, I think I figured my own thing out. But anyways, welcome back. So this week on TopStep has been pretty good. I had a $1,400 day, which I just made a previous video about on the NASDAQ. And then today, while I was at work, I had a smooth like $250 trade on gold, which was a pretty nice trade. This one's interesting to talk about too. I'm going to make this like a quicker video than something that's like 30 minutes like it was last time. This is going to be like a quick analysis of like today's trade on gold and what I saw and then why I ended up taking it. This one's pretty interesting too. It's kind of like the one that I took on NASDAQ. But anyways, I'm going to move myself and I'm going to show you guys. I think like that's good. I'm going to try. My mic, okay, my mic is on. Okay. I think right here is good. I want to try to make like Instagram shorts from this and like put something on this on like Instagram. But anyways, so here's the day. When I traded actually no, this is on gold. Excuse me. I did take a trade on NASDAQ. That I showed at this price. This one, it ended up just losing. And then on gold, I caught a nice one. I think this was yesterday. What's the day? The 27th, yeah. So this is yesterday. This is a pretty good trade. I talked about this in the previous video. I'm not going to talk about it now because I don't want this video to be super long. But this is the trade today. So I made $260 minus swaps, or not swaps, excuse me, commissions and fees. It ended up to being like $256. So it's still, it's a good side trade. A good-sized trade. Sorry. By no means am I upset by this. I'm very happy about this. We are on an express funded account, so all we need is like 3 more good days, and we can probably get a payout, which is what we're going for. So total profit that I'm at right now is $17.13 with a win percentage of 66. But honestly, I've only taken 3 trades total. The trade that I took today just happened to bounce at the perfect zone that I thought would be support on gold, and it just ended up like playing out, which we'll talk about. Honestly, I feel like my win rate's more like 50% because I closed trades early, like I've said in the previous video. But if you're watching this for the first time, I closed trades early on TopStep. So if the trade's not working out, I'll close it at like maybe a 50% stop loss. Like I risk 400 per trade, 300 to 400 per trade, depending on the opportunity and where I'm going to put my stop loss zone at. If it's a better position or it's a better trade that has a really good structure and I'm able to put my stop loss further, I kind of risk heavier on those ones. If the opportunity just looks like it's really good, I'll risk heavier, which is basically what I did on this gold position. To be fair, I did not think that this was as heavy as I thought, but I was risking like $500, I think, on this trade. And the risk reward was, I guess, a 1 to 3, kind of a little above that because I made $1,500 on that trade, which was a great trade. Again, that was in the past video. But today, 256. So I'm going to show you. That is NASDAQ. We're going to go to gold. I did it on micro gold. So this is literally how it looked. I still have the stop loss thing because this is exactly how I want it to look. So you can see what I was going for, this blue line. This is the price that I was like, if price gets down to here on gold, this is where I'm buying at. And you can see how close this wick was to where I was like, I'm buying. This was this morning. I had to go to work this morning. And I'm sitting here before I had to go, and this hasn't even happened yet. It was more so on these 2 candles, but I was on the 4-hour looking at this, so it was still this big candle. And it came really, really close, and I was like, I want it to get about halfway to my zone before I buy. And you can see how close I was. And so I ended up later, while I was at work, I pulled out my phone and checked gold again to see if it dropped down to here again, and it didn't. By the time I left for work, it was already like up here. but the candle hadn't closed yet. So I was like, okay, this still could possibly go lower. A couple hours go by. I pull out my phone. I look at TopStep, and it was like this candle had just finished, and this one just started, and so I was like, you know what? I wanted to wait for this blue line. So firstly, let's back out before I even dive into it further. So for me, again, like, okay, so trading is very, very subjective. Nothing is going to be like absolute concrete objectiveness. What I think is a zone is going to be something that somebody might not even think is a zone, or they won't even count it as a zone. Something that somebody thinks is like a fair value gap is something that somebody else is probably not going to think is a fair value gap. Whatever is a trend line to you, some other person might not think it's a trend line, or whatever your strategy is, right? I just use support resistance on the higher time frames. But for me, I just thought that this was a good place that I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait for this here. And you can see how damn close I got to the perfect opportunity. Like, this would have given me no drawdown. Had it actually gotten to my blue line, this would have been a phenomenal trade. But the reason why I thought it was support is because this is just, for me, right? It might seem weird to others, but it's like, I look at areas where prices bounce very obviously and has made a big move from, or has touched before and moved in the opposite direction. So it's just like I'm looking at the wicks. This one isn't the most clear, so I'm going to use this to I'm going to use this as like a pointer. So like, for me, I'm looking at this. If this was empty, I'm just going to remove everything so it's more blank and you can kind of see like what I was looking at. I'm like, if there's an opportunity here, what would I want to wait for? Because most of my strategy is just me waiting until price gets to a certain area and then I buy or sell. It's not like I'm waiting for the move to do a certain thing and then I'm going to catch the move as it's like, I don't even know if that makes sense. I'm not trading with the momentum. I'm waiting for price to get to a certain spot and then I decide to like buy or sell. So for me, price wasn't even here yet. I remember I was looking at this like yesterday or maybe 2 days ago, and gold was like up here. Or no, excuse me. It was over here because this is where I made that $1,500 on. I bought gold. It was like somewhere in here. It wasn't that big of a zone though, or of a ratio, but it was like somewhere in here, and I caught a nice little bounce from it. But for me, I was like, okay, let's start on the daily. Let's look at this. It's like an artist stepping away from his painting to look at and to get more of a clear direction of what he thinks is going to happen or what he should do. But anyways, I was just like, you know what? Like, we've got these little like here, this little wick here, right? Price just fell from here. It comes up, it tests again, and it has a small little bounce, and it breaks through. You find a lot of momentum, and then this huge plummet, and then it bounces in like the same area where like these highs are, and then this is like the low, right? And you've got this big old wick here. Price really moved. When it came down here, it just fired up. Doesn't come back. It comes down eventually, sometime in the future. And you have this long, ugly wick. It's not specific on where a zone is actually going to be. And then you see this big old move. And it comes down, and it bounces, and it comes up, touches in this little area here. And then it just falls, and then it touches, and then it bounces up, and then it falls. So, it's just, I'm looking at this. I'm like, if something were to come up, and I look at the 4 hour, just to get a little bit more specifics, I'm like, what would I want to wait for? So for some reason, in my 2 years of trading and looking at the charts for literally every single day, I have not missed a day. I'm so serious. But I was like, I've seen this exact scenario, and it's funny that I remember. It was on AUD CAD, trading Forex. AUD CAD looked like this, but if you could flip it, right, like flip the chart, it was like a sell opportunity that looked just like this. I was like, I've seen this on AUD CAD before. It's a different market. This is futures. AUD CAD is Forex, so it's like, anyways, I was like, I've seen this before. In my 2 years of trading, I've seen this. I think that this is a nice little bounce here, right? Price touched right there, and it has this big move. And I mean, like, you can look at this to the left and be like, but what about this, right? Like, why didn't you wait for this one here, or wait for whatever this is, or wait for these right here? Why this one? it's just, I don't even know how to explain it. I've just seen this before on AUD CAD, but instead it was like a good sell opportunity, and I sold, and I had a winning trade on this. This was like a couple months ago, maybe a couple months ago, but for some reason I was like, this one just stands out to me. Like, look at, it's a cleaner move. I don't have to encapsulate all of this. Just to me right here, look at this move. It just boom and just bounces from there. I'm like, I'll wait for that again. And I'm confident entering here because what's my strategy? I'll enter. I'll take the opportunity. If it loses, I'll get out of the trade early. I'll probably lose. If I'm risking $400, I'll close it like halfway to the stop loss. I'll lose like $200. I attempted the trade. I entered the opportunity. I wasn't hesitant. I wasn't scared. I just trusted that I would like close the trade early and I could manage it right. So I feel confident doing that. So I'm like, I'm just going to enter this trade. If it goes against me, so what? I'll just get out of the trade early. And recently, from the $200 account, if you're watching this for the first time, trading that $200 account, honestly, the mindset that I had trading that versus trading TopStep, it wasn't as abundant, is I guess the way to describe it in the simplest terms. With this, for some reason, I have this abundant mindset. Like, I'll find another trade. If I enter this trade and it doesn't work out, it's fine. Like, oh gosh, I keep doing this. If I enter a trade and it doesn't work out, it's fine. I will be able to, like bounce back from this. Not revenge trading, but just because I know that opportunities are going to come around again where I'm going to enter a trade and it's just going to spike. It's just going to favor the decision that I make. Trading's like that. You're just going to encounter trades that are going to give you a hard time and go straight to the stop loss, or you're going to encounter trades that are just going to go straight to the TP. It's just this trade that I'm explaining now, it just happened to just spike into the TP. Well, I closed it early because it was almost market close. But anyways, back to what I was saying, right? I was just confident entering this because, like, this is a clear bounce. And you can see it bounce, and it didn't really come close. I mean, it came low, and it bounced, and it came low, and it bounced, and it kind of consolidated here. And then it fell, then it kind of consolidated, and fell a little bit more, then bounced, and then kind of, like, went down but kind of consolidated, went up, and then comes down into the zone. I was waiting for this. This is all within, damn. This was like a month ago. But yeah, I think I said this in the previous video too. I was like, if anything does show up on gold, I'll probably wait for like this or wait for this. I swear I've said that in like the past video or two. But anyways, so that's what I had that blue line for. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to wait till price gets to like right here. I just drew my horizontal line. I woke up this morning. This move was happening. And I was like, oh, wow, perfect. Like, I woke up. I look at my chart, grab a coffee, and I see this setting up. And I'm like, perfect. The only thing is it didn't get to the blue line. So my blue line was like a little lower than that. It was really, really close. So I was like, I'm going to buy here. This is the perfect opportunity. So I just gave you all the context of what I saw and why I ended up buying right here at this position. So what happened? It didn't get close to the line, and I'm sitting here watching it, and I'm like, okay, it's getting close, but it didn't touch to where I was like, I'm waiting. And it kept doing that thing where it's getting really close into the zone, and I'm like, should I go ahead and buy because I don't want to miss the move? And I was like, nah, I'm just going to wait. So it would go up a little bit more, and I'm like, shit, I missed it. The move already happened. But then it would bounce. It would come down a little more, and I'm like, oh, here we go. Like, it's setting up for me, and then it would go up. And it came really close, and I was really considering buying, but I was like, it's just not at the spot where, like, I was really waiting for. And that's, again, it's the subjectivity because, like, somebody's zone might have been a little higher, and they would have already entered the trade. Or somebody's might have been a little lower, and they're like, nah, not deep enough, and they ended up missing it. But mine was, like, right there. I'm like, it's just not deep enough into the zone for me, so I'm not going to buy yet. But then later, again, like I said, I was at work, and this ended up, like, it was like right here when this candle ended to right here. So I ended up buying. I didn't catch a huge move. Had I bought down here, this trade would have already hit the TP because I wasn't aiming for much. I had it right below the zone like this. This is like what I was waiting for. My trade looked literally like that. Like I was going to put my stop loss here and my TP here. This would have been a fire trade, bro. But it wasn't. I ended up entering way later, so it looked like this. It was literally like halfway. I closed it halfway because it was like 2:58. It was like something like approaching 3 o'clock. And on TopStep, They close your positions at 3:10 Central Standard Time because I'm Central. And it ended up, I just closed it manually at like a $250 profit, which is what I showed you here, right here on the performance stats, that 250 day. So that explains it. I thought this was a great trade. I was really happy about this. What could have happened though, what I was afraid of, is sometimes you think it's gonna bounce and then it dies off and then it comes down even more, which honestly still might happen because it looks like it's kind of having a little trouble bouncing from here. But I could see it coming back down and maybe making a new low. I keep doing that. I could see that happening. It makes like a new low and it goes towards like that ultimate low that's like down here. Oh shoot, I'm like, yeah, like that's like all the way down here, right? Like I could see that. But that is why I bought on gold right there. It's just because this was a clear support zone to me. This first clear bounce. And I mean, you could argue that like this was a clear bounce, right? Like, see, this is like the subjectivity of it. How do you know? It's just you don't, to be honest. You could have been like, I'm waiting for this move. Like this is a zone here, right? Or this one is a zone here, counting these two, because look, even back here, like price kind of like bounced here a couple times. It tested this and then broke through and then tested here as like resistance and then bounced and then broke above and then tested again and then found support and then came back, tested again and then found support and then bounced here. You see what I mean? Like this can get really messy. And if you're looking at every single wick. But for some reason, I don't know why, I just wanted to pick this one. I really wish that I had like a really good explanation, but I don't, because trading is not going to be that objective. It's not going to be that concrete. It's literally I guess the only explanation why I was so confident entering that trade is just because I just believed that I could just close the trade early and I'd be fine. So I wasn't afraid to just take the opportunity. I accepted when I took this trade that, you know what, this thing could really just blow past. And that's fine. I'm going to accept that. But I just entered it. I entered along here. I followed my strategy, which was just buy a support, sell at resistance. That is it. And I just stuck to the strategy because I've thought of this before. It's like, let's say, this is going to sound funny. Maybe somebody can like resonate with this because I've definitely experienced this. But let's say like I keep following my strategy, buying at support, selling at resistance. And let's say like price gets to a support zone for this example. Let's say I'm like, you know what? I've lost the last 4 trades. In the last 4 trades, I bought at support. I don't believe in buying support anymore. I'm going to try a little something different. I'm going to sell at support instead. Because my last 4 trades, when I bought at a support zone, it just shot down and didn't even respect the zone at all. So you know what? I'm just going to sell here. And then imagine like I had that kind of attitude and I sold anyways. And then this move happened. What? Imagine this move happened and it was a nice clear bounce. Then I really would have been pissed off. I'm like, see, I should have just trusted my strategy. But then like the logic I had before, it's like, well, my last 4 trades lost and I bought at support. So I'm just going to sell just to be different, right? But that, like, I've done that before. Maybe somebody else has too, but like that's just silly. And then you like teach yourself, like, shoot, I know I should have just stuck to what my original idea was. I should have just trusted to just buy a support, right? That's my strategy. I should have just done that. And it's like, you're right. You should have. I think I ran out of storage, but my video ended. But anyways, but yeah, so I entered this trade kind of late, so I just ended up, where the hell did I leave off? Anyways, according to my strategy, right, the way I trade, buying a support, selling at resistance, I'm technically entering this trade kind of late. So I was kind of accepting that, like, you know, I'm not going to catch probably the greatest move. And plus, I'm not trying to be a hero and gain like 1,000 ticks in one trade, you know? So it's like I'm entering this kind of late after the bounce of like the bulk of the bounce already happened. But, I mean, it's okay. I think I can catch this move. And if it does go against me, I'll learn to not, I guess, really do that because you're kind of messing up your risk reward. Hence entering here, like waiting for the really good price versus like entering a little later like I did. And I only caught like half the move. But had I just entered down here, but I was being patient and I didn't catch the move and have a full like take profit hit, but I entered a little late and I ended up closing just because the market was about to close anyways. So that basically wraps it up. Hopefully this was like a much quicker video and it made more sense because the last one was like kind of long and I talked a lot. So yeah, that's kind of, I guess, my analysis for this week, the past 2 days. So I've had 2 winning days of plus $150. So that's counts as like I've got 3 more days to go until I can get a payout, hopefully, right? I'm not going to pressure myself to like shoot for the stars and make every trade a winning trade. If I have a losing day, like I did that one time, like I think past video or 2 videos ago, right? Like I'm not going to force anything. I'm gonna make myself a little bit bigger here because like I'm done with the charts, but I'm not gonna force anything. I'm not gonna get too emotional. If I have a trade that loses, I'm gonna have the same attitude that I did with NQ like a day or 2 ago. I'm just gonna be like, I lost that trade. It's fine. I'll wait till like tomorrow. I'm sure something will show up. So anyways, I appreciate you for watching. I'm gonna edit some stuff and post some of this on Instagram. But yeah, man, I mean, feel free to leave anything in the comments, any like opinions or like how trading's going for you on top. If you're trading TopStep, if you're trading your own capital, like feel free to leave in the comments. I'd love to hear it. I've got a couple people that comment below and I love it, bro. So, you know, I've had some philosophy ideas that I want to make videos about. I like these because it like really, these like chart videos, because it really shows like, I don't know, philosophy videos, you can talk the talk, but can you really walk the walk? So that's why I make the chart videos, just to show like, okay, this is how it's going for me. This is how it's going for TopStep. I'm aiming to get a payout, right? I think the most you can get in a payout is like 2K per payout. So maybe one day I'll start 2 accounts and I'll copy trade and I'll lead with the account that I just showed you. I might pay for the account where like you don't have to pay an activation fee. So as soon as I pass, I can just instantly start. It's a little bit more upfront, but I mean, it's fine. It's like $94 a month, I think, which is cool. So anyways, but yeah, that wraps it up. So if you watch this, bro, I appreciate you. If you even got to the end, I appreciate you even more. You get a kiss from me. But yeah, that wraps it up for me, bro. So I wish all of you the best. Trading is pretty freaking hard, but I mean, bro, like, I don't know, it's getting fun and it's getting a little easier. I don't want to make trading seem easy because it's very hard. But it's getting a lot more fun, and I think I'm approaching it in a lot more peaceful state than trading that small $200 account and putting pressure on myself to turn that $200 into like multiple thousands a month, right? It's like, this is just a lot easier. Futures is just a lot easier. So anyways, I wish you guys the best. Keep grinding. Keep doing your thing with your dang lang. I'll see you in the next one.